Don't let the bows and sparkly collars fool you. Yorkies weren't always lapdogs. These tiny dynamos started off chasing down rats in gritty textile mills, not posing for Instagram. Behind that glamorous coat is a bold little boss with a bark bigger than their bite and a personality that demands attention. Thinking of bringing one home? Let's dig into the quirky truths and surprises that come with life alongside a Yorkshire Terrier. Welcome back to Doggy Pedia, where we bring you all things dog-related. Today, we're going to talk about the 12 things no one tells you about owning a Yorkie. Let's begin. 1. Yorkies may be tiny, but their attitude is huge. Yorkies may be tiny, but their confidence is off the charts. These little dogs often act like they're 10 times their size, barking at bigger dogs, strutting around like they're in charge, and demanding attention like royalty. They've got big personalities packed into small bodies, and they're not afraid to let you know exactly how they feel. Living with a Yorkie is like living with a sassy little boss who always thinks they're right, and honestly, it's hilarious. 2. Yorkies need regular grooming. That shiny Yorkie coat might look glamorous, but it's more like human hair than regular dog fur, and that means it needs a lot of care. You'll need to brush it daily to keep it from turning into a tangled mess, and plan on professional grooming every 4 to 6 weeks to keep things neat and healthy. Without regular upkeep, that cute little coat can quickly turn into a mop of knots. And trust me, your Yorkie won't be thrilled about it either. Grooming isn't just about looks. It also helps prevent skin irritation, mats that can trap moisture, and even parasites like fleas or ticks. Some Yorkies might resist bath time or try to run off mid-trim, so get ready for some giggles during grooming sessions. Invest in a good detangling spray, a slicker brush, and nail clippers or a grinder. The more routine you make grooming, the easier it becomes for both of you. 3. Potty training. A Yorkie is a process. Yorkies are smart, but when it comes to housebreaking, they've got a stubborn streak a mile wide. Don't be surprised if it takes longer than expected. They like to do things their way. Even with a solid routine, you might still find a few little surprises around the house now and then. Patience, consistency, and lots of praise are key, so stock up on treats and be ready to celebrate the small wins. Literally. 4. Yorkies are little alarm systems. If you're hoping for a quiet dog, a Yorkie might not be the one. These little pups take their job as home security very seriously. Whether it's the mailman, a bird flying by, or just a suspicious-looking shadow, they'll let you know, loudly and with passion. So if you bring a Yorkie home, get ready for a lot of alerts, even when there's nothing to actually worry about. Their barking can be constant, especially if they're feeling a little extra alert or if something catches their attention. While their enthusiasm to protect the house can be endearing, it can also get a bit much if you live in an apartment or have close neighbors. Training them to differentiate between actual threats and harmless situations can help reduce unnecessary barking, but you'll need to be patient and consistent. With time, you can help them dial it down a bit, but just know, a Yorkie is always ready to sound the alarm if they think something's off. 5. Yorkies get very attached to one person. Yorkies get really attached to their favorite person, and that might be you. Once they pick you, they'll want to be with you all the time. They'll follow you from room to room and don't like being left alone. If you leave the house, they might bark or whine to show they're not happy about it. It's cute, but also means they need lots of love and attention. As the owner, that means having a tiny shadow who's always by your side. You'll rarely have alone time, even in the bathroom. They also don't do well with being left home alone for too long, so if you're around often or can take them with you, that's perfect. Just know, once they love you, they're all in. 6. Yorkies are picky eaters with a gourmet palate. Yorkies can be surprisingly picky when it comes to food. You might spend money on high-quality dog food, only for them to turn their nose up like you just offered them a shoe. Some Yorkies prefer real, freshly cooked meals. Think chicken, rice, or veggies. And they'll let you know if dinner doesn't meet their standards. This means you might end up playing chef more often than you expected, just to keep your tiny food critic happy and eating well. Be careful though, not all human foods are safe. Avoid toxic ingredients like onions, garlic, grapes, and chocolate. And before switching to a home-cooked or raw diet, always check with your vet to ensure your Yorkie is getting the nutrients they need. 7. Yorkies are little escape artists. Yorkies might be tiny, but they've got a big sense of adventure, and that can lead to some sneaky escapes. Their small size means they can slip through the tiniest gaps in fences, under gates, or even wriggle out of harnesses if you're not paying attention. You'll need to be extra careful when securing them outside, because once they spot an opening, they're off exploring. So, always double-check that everything's closed and locked, or your little escape artist might just go on their own solo adventure. 8. Yorkies are prone to dental issues. Yorkies and their teeth can be a real challenge. These little dogs are more prone to dental issues than bigger breeds, which means you'll need to keep up with brushing their teeth regularly. If you don't, you might end up dealing with bad breath and could face some expensive vet bills down the road. So, if you're not into daily toothbrushing, be ready for some extra trips to the vet for cleanings, or invest in some doggy toothpaste and get brushing. 9 Yorkies are unaware of how fragile they are. Yorkies don't always know their own size, and it can lead to some risky behavior. They'll jump off high furniture or rough house like they're a much bigger, tougher dog. But here's the thing, they're tiny and fragile, so that fearless attitude can lead to injuries if you're not careful. If you have a Yorkie, you'll need to keep an eye on them to make sure they don't overdo it, especially when they're playing or jumping around. A little supervision goes a long way in keeping your little adventurers safe. It's also important to keep in mind their bones and joints aren't as strong as larger dogs, which makes them more vulnerable to accidents. As much as they may act like they can handle anything, it's up to you to protect them from their own daring antics. Providing them with a safe environment and gentle playtime will help keep them happy and injury-free. So, while they may not realize it, you'll need to step in and be the responsible one when they start thinking they're invincible. 10 Yorkies tend to be more bossy as they get older. As Yorkies get older, they tend to age like fine wine, with a little more attitude. Many of these dogs live well into their teens, but as they do, they often become even more bossy and set in their ways. A senior Yorkie isn't just a sweet old pup, they're more like a tiny tyrant with a lot of opinions, and those gray eyebrows just make them look extra wise. Yorkies typically live a long and healthy life with an average lifespan of 12 to 15 years. Some even make it into their late teens with the right care and attention. With proper nutrition, regular vet visits, and a good exercise routine, your Yorkie could be by your side for many years. Their longevity, combined with their strong personalities, means you'll have plenty of time to enjoy their company, even if they do occasionally try to rule the household. 11 Yorkies have a high prey drive. Yorkies have a strong prey drive, meaning they love to chase anything that moves, whether it's a squirrel, rabbit, or even your favorite toy. Their hunting instincts are built into their tiny bodies, so when they spot something, they're quick to give chase. This can be tricky, especially on walks, so it's important to keep a close eye on them to avoid any sudden zoomies after a target. Their high prey drive can make training challenging too. Once they spot something they want to chase, it's hard to keep their attention. To prevent any wild chases, make sure they're always on a leash or in a securely fenced area. You can help redirect their energy into fun activities like fetch or agility training, giving them a chance to burn off that drive in a more controlled way. With patience, you'll be able to keep their excitement in check and have a blast together. 12 Yorkies aren't great apartment dogs. Yorkies might be small, but they're not always the best fit for apartment living. These little guys are full of energy and they need space to run and explore. If you live in a tiny apartment with no yard, they might feel cooped up and get a bit restless. Without enough room to move around, they can start to get noisy and even act out, which could annoy your neighbors. Plus, their strong prey drive means they're constantly looking for things to chase, and in an apartment that can lead to some pretty chaotic moments. Even though they're small, Yorkies still need regular exercise to stay happy and healthy. Ideally, they should get at least 30 minutes to an hour of active play or walks every day. If you're in an apartment, you'll need to be committed to daily walks, playtime, or even interactive toys to burn off that energy. Keep in mind, they're also very vocal, and their barking could carry through thin walls, making it harder for you and your neighbors to have a quiet, peaceful space. So, if you're considering a Yorkie for apartment life, make sure you're ready to meet their physical and mental needs. And there you have it, the real scoop on owning a Yorkie. From their big personalities to their grooming needs, these little dogs sure keep life interesting. If you're thinking about adding a Yorkie to your family, make sure you're ready for all the love, fun, and challenges they bring. Got any funny or wild Yorkie moments? Drop them in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and make sure to subscribe for more awesome pet tips and stories. Also, share this video with your friends who might be thinking about getting a Yorkie. Until next time, enjoy the adventures with your Yorkie.